I remember as a kid going on vacation with my parents and my family, and some of the most fondest memories come from those vacations up until the last day. Always, no matter where it was at or what was going on, these vacations always came down to the final night. We had to come to terms that it was ending. It always sucked, especially as a kid. You don't want to leave, you don't want to go back to school or back home. But recently it's been hitting in college, high school the same way. That last day of summer vacation, or in this case, of Christmas break, is hitting pretty hard right now. Going back to school, coming back from time off. Welcome back, everybody. Another episode of Thinking, where I'm trying to beat Minecraft for the first time and just talking about things that interest me. This series went from being a daily thing to now just being swamped up by work and trying to get through my days. Trust me, I didn't forget about you guys. We're still growing. We're still somehow. I don't get it. The support on all the videos has been great. I'm no longer sick. It was good. Finally beat it, even though I thought I couldn't. And I'm doing okay. Today's topic is one that I thought about the other night for the first time in a while, because it was the first time I really didn't enjoy a break from school. Normally those are some of my best times, when my schedule is completely up to me and I could structure, things with the gym and friends, and it's just overall a period I feel like where everyone is more happy when you're off from school, especially college, with how tedious these semesters are and how much work I tried to cram in. Tried to go for extra credits. It was not worth it at all. But regarding the last day, it hit me, and it reminded me of that feeling, that very specific feeling as a kid when you're vacationing somewhere. It doesn't have to be very far, but for me, my family would always go to a beach in South Jersey, a couple hours away, and we would buy an Airbnb and stay there for the week. And I always remember on the last night struggling to sleep. Not because I was excited to go back home or go back to school the next day or the next week, but it was just out of disappointment that it was over. Having to deal with the fact that this was no longer my reality, it was no longer a part of my day, and I would be back home very shortly. Not only that, but having to rearrange your priorities because your days are no longer the same. There were things in your day, or in my days at least, when I was at that beach, that were way different than how it was. There were people that I would see, things that I would do that I can no longer do. And just having to really go back to reality. That is, I think, what sucked the most, and what makes the last day of summer vacation a bad thing. Now, with that, again, I talk about things that are currently going on in my life. This break has hit in us almost identically, because already having something shitty happen when you're on break and it kind of throws it off was bad enough, and then on top of that you have to go back to school. Now normally school is kind of like a priority to me. My major is something I'm very passionate about, but from that same token, it's just an add-on. And the schedule that I lived in wasn't real anymore, because now there were things during my day that were changing. My sleep schedule hasn't been the greatest, or I'm not even gonna give myself credit. Like, it's just been terrible. Not saying that I'm not getting enough sleep, but when I'm going to bed and when I'm waking up are probably way different than everyone else, my family and everyone else around me. Getting sidetracked. Anyway, what I'm trying to say or capture in this video is kind of answering why the last day of these vacations and these breaks, why do they hit so hard? Is it the fact that you're going to miss what happened? Is it, you know, the fact that you're gonna have to wait another year, or who knows, even if it's the last time you'll be there? You know, thinking about, did you do enough? Did you have fun to the most of your like, did you do everything in your power to really experience what you had? And you kind of just reflect, or at least I used to reflect in my bed against my own will. Just kind of sitting there thinking, little 10-year-old me, wrestling, knowing that I'm going to have a big car ride the next day. It's also the fact that you're going back to something familiar, but now you're disappointed. How about that? A little perspective change. I feel like that's a very common, not really very common, because relatively monumental. You're living your life a certain way, and you go and experience a different, better life for a week, 2 weeks, or however long you're out, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're right back into your life, but for some reason it's a little more empty, it's a little more mundane and disappointing compared to something else, which I guess is what makes vacation so special, is it's a little break and a little glimpse into something that isn't necessarily realistic to live on a day-to-day life. Maybe for some people, but not for you. And you just have to deal with that. You just gotta face it. And I think the reason it hit me so hard is just because of how poorly this break had gone. And it reminded me of my summer breaks when I was a kid, and how happy I used to be just going to summer camps and just doing bullshit, man. And how unconscious I was of everything else going on. And it just, that feeling of me sitting in bed, reflecting, knowing I have new commitment the next day, or a change from a life that I wouldn't even say want to live, but just a schedule that I enjoyed was now being taken away from me, on top of a bunch of other things. So I think the beauty of vacation and the beauty of break comes from working, right? Like, there wouldn't be any good without bad, meaning there wouldn't be any break without the work or without the schedule. There wouldn't be any vacation without time on the clock. So I guess knowing that is the reason why you work, and the reason why you push, is to get that time off and that enjoyment just for those special moments. What I'm trying to say here is that if you're sitting in bed or wherever you may be after, doesn't even have to be a vacation, an experience, something, anything, and you're just running the tape in your mind, reflecting on what happened, could you have done better, trying to answer all these questions, just enjoy it, put effort in, live in the moment, experience it, and enjoy it. because those periods, not even vacations or breaks, but those times that you have with other people, even on a day-to-day, are important. And more so, it's the reason that you push and that you work for that break. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. We hit 450 the other day, so thank you guys, really, for the support. It's been unreal. And I hope you guys have been enjoying this series. We're going to be back to our regular scheduled programming probably this weekend. I appreciate you guys letting me kind of rock out at my own pace here. And I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any comments, maybe tell me what you did this break for Christmas or your winter break. If you enjoyed it, I think it went fast. Maybe your favorite break spot you've ever been to. Any feedback, any new questions, just leave them in the comments. Love reading them after every video. I hope everyone's been good. Really do. These are trying times. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video, and please let me know what you think in the comments. See you guys soon.